again, Pastor Linda Nxumalo. I'm with Julie Global Ministries, and you are watching Growing with Pastor Linda NX. Welcome back. In the series that we have started, we are talking about mindset, we're talking about heart set, and we're talking about skill set. A quick recap: I had indicated that your mindset is the things that you think, the things that you process in your mind, the things that you're exposed to, that you contemplate, that you meditate on. These are at your mind level, whether consciously, subconsciously. This is now your mindset. It is formed by the places you go to, the books that you read, the conversations that you have. It is made up by the programs that you watch on TV, just whatever it is that you expose yourself to. And you'll be very surprised of how much the mind actually grabs and how much the mind retains and stores, and a lot of it will stay in your subconscious mind for a lifetime and come out as and when required. That is your mindset. Your mindset then impacts and influences your heart, and we call that the heart set. It influences the things that you're convinced of, the things that you're convicted on, the things that you will put that stake in the ground and not move, because this is now your value system. This is what you believe, and it is almost innate, and this is the mindset, or rather this is the heart set. So your heart set will always determine the manner in which you then carry yourself, the manner in which you execute. It determines let's call it the manifestation. It determines who people see, how you carry yourself. That is a function of the skill set, how you react to certain things, the manner in which you do certain things. This then becomes the skill set that is founded on the heart set, and the heart set has its foundation as the mindset. Now, the Bible says that we are not of this world. Though we be in this world, we are not of this world. And that is why in Romans 12, verse 2, we are called to be transformed through the renewing of our minds, and that we ought not be conformed to this world. Let me capture it for you. It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good, and what is acceptable and perfect. You and I are made in the image of God. You and I are made in the likeness of God, which means the things of this world are not the things of God. Many of the things that happen in this world, it's a fallen world, many of the things that happen in this world are contrary to the image of God, are contrary to the likeness of God, and are contrary to even the will of God or the purpose of your life, the plan, the intent, the desires that God has for your life. Many of them are inconsistent with who we are as people, who we are as individuals, because of everything that we've exposed ourselves to, everything that has happened to us, our experiences, our memories, and as a result, the people that we become. So we are then called to renew our minds so that we can take on the mind of Christ, so that we can emulate Christ and we can be like Christ. And as you well know, he was not conformed to this world. The book of Proverbs 23 verse 7 says, as a man thinketh, so he is. So depending on the things that you think of yourself, that's what you will exhibit. That's what the world will see. If you think of yourself as being an independent and a responsible person who is accountable, who has integrity, who is ethical, guess what? You think this of yourself, you believe this, we start seeing you do things that are consistent with an ethical person, with a person with a good, solid moral compass. But if you think, no, if I do this, I can get away with that, and I can speak whichever way I want, or as we were saying last week, Minangfuzile, this is not for me, I was not consulted when it comes to this and that. You find that the person that you exhibit is exactly what you think of yourself. It's very strange how the mind actually determines where you end up. Your mindset determines where you end up. I'll make an example of a bulimic person or somebody with anorexia. This person is already emaciated, but in their mind, all they see is a fat person, all they see is a person that is displeasing to their eye. And so they find themselves with this particular mental condition called bulimia, because, or as I said, anorexia, simply because their mind tells them, I am fat. They do not become fat because they think they're fat, but in their mind, that's all they see. And then they behave like somebody who needs to get rid of this weight. And all they do, their behavior is then centered around, this is what I see of myself and this is what I believe of myself. Last week, I mentioned the little girl who then wants to become a doctor and ends up becoming a doctor, and I gave you an example of how she's likely going to play doctor with her dolls, how she's going to probably watch medical programs on television or things that are related to medicine, and how she'll take on subjects that will enable her to eventually do the medical degree and become the doctor that she wants to be. So clearly our mindset determines where we end up. It determines the success or the failure that we enjoy or suffer from. It determines our values, it determines our beliefs, it definitely determines our attitudes, it determines our habits, our characteristics, it determines our personality, it determines the manner in which we act, the manner in which we react, it determines the decisions that we make. And so the decisions that you make are on the basis of what you think and what you believe. So what I am saying to you is, for as long as we are conformed to this world, we will make decisions that are consistent with the things of this world, because these decisions are on the basis of the things that we've exposed ourselves to. You know, when I pray, I always pray for spiritual eyes, so that I am able to see beyond the things of this world, and I'm able to see through the lens of God, that I may have filters in my ears and have spiritual ears, so that I can hear the voice of God, and the voice of God will supersede the voice of all the clutter and the noise and the distraction in the world. Because what you see with your eyes, what you hear with your ears, definitely impacts what you believe, how you feel in your heart. For instance, if you see a feel-good movie, you know, a nice romantic movie, guess what? You feel good. If you hear of a young 9-year-old girl having been raped, you feel sad in your heart. So we then impact our hearts, we then impact our heart sets by what it is that we are exposed to. So it is for this reason that we ought not to lean on ourselves, but trust in the Lord with our entire hearts, right? So when you look at Abraham and you look at the book of Romans chapter 4 verse 21, it says Abraham was fully persuaded that God would be able to do what he said he would do. Everything that Abraham then did was on the basis of what he thought, was on the basis of what he believed. So he heard God, he was persuaded. You're persuaded by what you hear, what you're exposed to, what you see. Your mind has an interaction with what's going on around you. You process it, you then take it in, and then you decide, I believe this. You believe it, you're persuaded, or you're convicted, or you are convinced. And the actions and the behaviors of Abraham from that moment are as a result of what his mindset had communicated and planted or deposited in his heart set. And so his skill set demonstrated a person who had been persuaded that indeed God will do that which he said that he would do. You know, in Philippians 2:5, it says, have this mind amongst yourselves, which is yours in Christ. When we have a mind that is fixated on the things of the world, we become worldly. Our focus becomes on everything that is carnal, everything that is influenced by dintho tsa mo lefatsheng. And dintho tsa mo lefatsheng, you like it, you don't like it, at one point or another they will trip us up. They will trip us up, they do trip us up. The people who find themselves in trouble, the people who find themselves in jail, be it for fraud or for murder, whatever it is, the person having been beaten up now because they were found in a bedroom with somebody's husband, whatever challenges, whatever troubles that come our way are often as a result of us having conformed to this world, are often as a result of, I always call it our stupidity, because we've been given the option to choose life. God says, I present to you life, I present to you death, and I choose life. We often don't choose life. We often choose the things that will kill us. Why? Because being in this fallen world, we tend to choose these things because they're dimonate, they're enticing, they look good. And I can't imagine that the devil will come to any of us with a fork, spear, fork and knife, whatever, and say, "Hi, I'm the devil and I've come to tempt you." So he presents he presents an argument. He presents a case for why this thing is good for you. And if your mindset is stayed on the wrong things, in all likelihood you will be convicted and you will be persuaded and convinced of all the things that are of tempting nature, because the mindset is wrong. And I think we can safely say that your past is as a result of your mindset. Your priorities are as a result of your mindset. But I want to invite you to have a different future. I want to invite you to choose a different pathway. I want to invite you to indeed be renewed of your mind. Let's stop being conformed to this world, so that we can have new experiences, so that in future we can have new memories, so that in future we can have new skills, new abilities. Let's be convicted of the right things, of different things that God will look at and find them approved. I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I love you. God bless you. Remember to press those knobbies, subscribe, like, follow, share, and ring my bell.